What's up, people? Good morning. Listen, I'm not sure if y'all have been paying attention to politics and news and about candidates who are actually starting to have these conversations about running. A lot of us are in our own bubble right now, and I get it. There's a lot of things going on with Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan, and then on the other side of the spectrum, you got, the January 6th case, which I think is all a distraction. They're not going to charge any of those people, so we can let it go. This is a waste of money. This is a waste of money. This is a waste of time. This is a waste of resources. And I do think that there are other things that I just want to make sure that we're not sort of leaving on the sidelines when it comes to things that are happening holistically, right? I know we're people. We're not one-dimensional people. We can pay attention to multiple different things at once, but I just want to make sure that we ain't missing nothing. So there have been some conversations about Trump running again. Okay. But I didn't think that the process was as far along as what it is now. If you go to votesaveamerica.com, guess who's there? Guess who's pretty much all but made his announcement in public, or made his announcement, as like an official press release or an official run. That site pretty much details it all. My question is the Democrats ready? Are the Democrats ready? We know they're not. We know the Democrats are not ready. Personally, I don't fall on either side of the spectrum, but if I was to fall on a side of the spectrum based on not your interest, but my personal interest, I would tend to lean more today. I would tend to lean more on the Democratic side of the fence or side of the scale. But I just don't think that the Democrats are really in a position to win. The Democrats really aren't in a position to win. The Democrats are more focused on symbolism, and the Democrats are more focused on nostalgia, how things used to be when Bill Clinton was in office and when Obama was in office many, many years ago. The Democrats right now were scrambling because everybody knows right now. Everybody knows that Trump is running again. The only people who really don't seem to have it together right now are the Democrats. Now, when we think about in the federal courts, and when we think about what's happening right now in, definitely the Supreme Court, it's really not anything the Democrats can do right now because the conservatives got this shit locked up. There's really much nothing that anybody can do right now. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and there were different views and perspectives that I had on Trump. In hindsight, based on a lot of the things that people thought was going to happen, he was not that bad. But based on COVID, based on how he came into his presidency pretty much riding the coattails of the last president, what did he really do? And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what did he do for the black community? Well, my question is, what are we doing for the black community? What are we doing? What are we asking for, y'all? Because when it comes to reparations, you got a large group of people who say, we don't need reparations. That's just a handout. It's a handout for you because you don't know any better. It's a handout for you because you don't understand the systemic issues that were happening with people that were responsible down the line for pushing your ass out so they can make sure you continue to make stupid statements, even to their detriment. So at the end of the day, there are certain things that our community, we don't even know what to ask for, where to begin, what it looks like. We don't know. And some of us choose to remain ignorant about it because, what difference does it make? They're going to do what they're going to do anyway. Keep it up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You're manifesting that. Pretty much, yeah. So what I'm going to say is that Democrats, if y'all don't come up with a plan, this motherfucker's really gonna wreck shop. And see, the thing about it is that he came into a stable economy. Obama handled Trump a stable economy. Now, based on what things are looking like right now, I don't know if Biden can turn it around. I don't know. I do think that when we look at some of the economic conditions that are in place right now, I certainly told you all that we're headed into a recession. It's pretty much damn near inevitable now. And if the Fed doesn't switch their mode and operate from a quantitative easing perspective instead of just incrementally raising these rates, that's going to push us into a depression. According to how they do that, it may, or maybe we just may have an elongated period of a recession coming up. That's something that I think you all need to be very, very, very concerned about. Gas prices, that's more of an immediate concern, but I really do think that y'all need to be concerned about this particular recession than the last one, because the last one in 2008 looks a hell of a lot different than this one. This one is going to be much more structural, to where, like right now, there are no jobs in the job market. There are none. So if companies aren't hiring, companies are laying off, which we're seeing right now with this housing market, the bubble that's about to get ready to, this bubble ain't about to get ready to burst. This motherfucker's about to, bam! It's really about to blow up. So what I'm saying to y'all is that there's a 2-year plan, right? Because what we find is typically with presidential elections, anywhere from 18 to 24 months, they pretty much come out the gate swinging. We're going to see that with Trump this time around. And when I tell you, they're going to just throw in the deck. What I find so fascinating with the Republicans is that I've never seen them be scared of anybody but him. I've never seen them be scared of a Democrat. I've never seen them be scared of any other different political or polarizing figure. But this guy, I don't know what it is about him. Nobody challenges him. Nobody challenges him. And I'm going to say this one more time, Democrats, I don't know who that's going to be. It can't be Kamala Harris, because we know black men don't like black women. And racist America sure as hell is not going to vote for her, because they don't like Biden. The other thing is that who else we got? Stacey Abrams. Well, we saw what happened to her the last time in Georgia. There's no way that, again, racist white America, they're not ready to put her forward again. Pete Buttigieg. Ain't nobody gonna vote for no gay dude. It ain't gonna happen. The only person that I think will probably save, not just save the Democratic Party, but the only person that I think that anybody will vote for right now is Michelle Obama. And she ain't fucking with y'all. So I can't say that I don't blame her, because I'm totally on her side with that. I wouldn't want to fuck with y'all either. But Biden, if he does win again, is lights out. So Democrats, you all need to think really strategically, think very methodically, and think very careful about who it is that you all want to elevate to that position. Because it's Trump's America all over again, y'all. Is this what we want for another 4 years? I can't go through that again. That was a very difficult time for me, not because of, some other stuff economically, politically, because I was one of the ones, fortunately, who was able to do well, just like many of y'all were. But it wasn't because of Trump. It was because of the structural issues that Obama put in place. It was only for that reason. And trust me, I looked really deep and hard last night based on a conversation that I had, because I wanted to know that, okay, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that bad from a psychological perspective, not an economic perspective, right? So I do think that at this time all over again, just to kind of go through a lot of those deep-seated divisive issues that's only going to explode, nobody wants to go through that again. Nobody wants, and not to say that it stopped, but nobody wants to see it escalated. And yes, Michael, we do need to be strategic. But what does that look like? They already Here's the thing that when it comes to Democrats, this is why y'all are always dead last every single fucking time, because Republicans are thinking about things 2 and 3 elections ahead of time. And I'm not talking about the presidential elections. I'm talking about midterms. I'm talking about in between midterms. I'm talking about side terms. They already doing what they need to do. And Hillary Clinton, as much as y'all love her, she ain't gonna win. They don't like her. Y'all need to pick somebody who's younger, who's fresh, who is savvy, somebody who don't care about cursing your ass out. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what we about to go through all over again. And sisters, y'all know how y'all like to say y'all carry elections. And statistically, y'all do. But as it came up in the conversation last night, Trump got something to prove. And he gonna dog you motherfuckers out this time. Because y'all didn't show up and vote for him. You said some interesting things about him. And now, he gonna rip y'all motherfuckers to shreds. I can't, and I don't want to see what he does from a destructive, because I personally love black women. I ain't got nothing against y'all. But at the end of the day, we gotta really think about the implications of what is going to happen from him. Because black men showed up and voted for him. The sisters didn't. So you don't think he's gonna play off of that? He's a numbers guy. He's gonna play off of that shit. And you all know, we live in an era of the post-Kevin Samuel syndrome. Well, you got a lot of brothers out there who don't like black women anyway, who's just gonna rally to that side and push that motherfucker over the line. And they're gonna show up more for him this time than they did in 2006. You can best believe that. Right. He may not be smart, but he's definitely sinister. And it doesn't take brilliance to be sinister. All it takes to be cunning and to be determined. That doesn't make you smart. That makes you militant in some ways. So let's not forget about that, y'all. Let's not forget about that. And Ken, you said, yes, she will win. She won the popular vote. She won the popular vote in 2006. What you don't understand is that in certain key positions, just like these Republicans, see, this is what they do. They go and they redraw these lines. They redraw these districting lines of who voted for whom and how that looks. And that's what you call strategy. How many times have Democrats led those conversations? It's always the Republicans. So if you think that map looks any like it's a mirror of the districts that were in play in 2006 or 16, I would say, if you think it looks the same then as it does now, let's go back to the 101, right? Government 101 conversation. We can have that, you cash at me and I'll give you a lesson. But it doesn't look the same, brother. It's totally different. So Hillary Clinton will not win. The same people who didn't like her then are the same people who hate her now. They don't like her. So again, here is what Democrats need to be doing right now. Y'all need to come up with a new person, new face, new blood that is going to pretty much put y'all over the line right now. With a lot of people who didn't think Biden was going to do a good job, for a lot of people who don't like a lot of these issues they're going to push through, abortion, these trans rights, they're going to take affirmative action off the table. Of course, Trump is going to say, oh no, we love affirmative action. Bring us the blacks. Bring us the gays. Bring us the women. The women. We love women. Don't we love the women? He's going to run on all of that. And even though he can't, because this is a Supreme Court issue, his dumbass base is going to fall for it. Just like many Democrats who don't read. So at the end of the day, what I'm going to tell y'all need to be trying to figure out who y'all are going to put in position. Because if y'all don't get a candidate who is masterful at manipulation, yep, I said manipulation because a lot of y'all need to be manipulated out of ignorance and stupidity. If you don't get a candidate who is charming, someone who can go and play that saxophone on one of these goddamn podcasts or the Breakfast Club or the harmonica or that nigga do the Dougie or all kinds of shit, if y'all don't get somebody who's going to come in there and be intelligent and smart, somebody who can basically, tell you what economic policy is and break it down into the way where even y'all get it. Somebody who can tell you pretty much what foreign and domestic relationships and how they intend to improve that. Somebody who is going to go in and really give you a simplistic plan of how they're going to, let's say, ease the tensions around race and police relations. Someone who's going to speak to people of color and disenfranchised people, and somebody who's going to speak to these wealthy people. That's where we at now. And this person is a person very similar to Barack Obama that nobody really knew about, who came through the ranks, and look what happened. The Democrats, y'all need to be very strategic about doing that and selecting that person. And Elizabeth Warren was someone who I thought would be a better president than Biden. Unfortunately, we got to look at strategy here, right? It's not just about what we think, even though what we think is probably more, in alignment with what's appropriate. But everybody else thinks that same way. Everybody else thinks that what they think is better. So now what we have to do is, because people are very unpredictable, we have to do things like look at statistics, which people are very unpredictable. And we also have to look at trends. And we also have to say that based on those two dynamics, statistics and trends, right? Statistics based on what has happened, trends votes on what is, trends are based on what is projected to happen. We have to look at how do we get in alignment with the trend to manufacture the outcome? That's what this stuff is really about. Democrats, you all got a big responsibility because I don't want to sit through Trump again. You all need to figure it out. Have a good day.